Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the track menus. But before I get into the track menus, let me just trigger a couple of hits right now. Okay, so first of all, to access the track menu, hit Start, push down the D-pad until you get to Track, push X, and then you have all of the track menu options. And each of these options only affects parameters in the current track, the current loop. So the first one is Copy Trig. Copy Trig copies all trig and vol data from one track to another. There are no restrictions on track type when copying this data. This data can come from any track and be placed into any other track. No synthesizer data is copied with Copy Trig. After selecting this option, PSPSeq first asks for the source track. So select Copy Trig, give it a list of all the tracks. So you can push up and down with the D-pad to select a track. I'm going to select BAM0. It's the source. And then you push up and down the D-pad to select the destination. So I'm going to select BAM3 in this case. So press X again. I'm asked to confirm this. Use the D-pad up or down to choose Y or N. Say yes. Press X. So now you can see that both BAM0 and BAM3 are being triggered. But BAM3 sounds totally different from BAM0. So none of the synthesizer data was copied. So the next option is Copy Track. So I'm going to go back into the menu system, go to Track, and go to Copy Tracks like that. And I'm going to copy again from BAM0 to BAM3. So select BAM0 by pressing X, go down to BAM3. You might have noticed that it skipped a bunch of tracks, and that's because they're not valid destinations to copy to. When you're copying between two tracks, they have to have the same generator and effect type associated with them. So I'm going to go to BAM3, select that, press Y. Now you can hear that both of them have the same sound as BAM0. Okay, so there's one subtlety to copy track, as well as to copy gen and copy freak. Each of these operations copy generator parameters between two tracks. Some generators are pitched while others are unpitched. An example of a pitched generator is an FM synthesizer. An example of an unpitched generator is the wave file player. If a generator is pitched, it can be configured to use absolute frequencies or tuned to a 12-note scale. If you copy generator values between two tracks which are set to different frequency types, the frequency type of the source track is copied to the destination track. If you do this, all frequency data for loops of the destination track is lost. If this is going to happen, PSPSeq will print a warning on the screen that other loops will be affected by this operation. And I'll talk more about the absolute and 12-tone frequency values later in the tutorial. So the next three options are all similar in that they copy a portion of the parameters from one track and paste them to another track. Each synthesizer can be broken down into the generator portion, the effect portion, and an output envelope. And the name of each track indicates the generator and effects used in the track. So for example, the last track is called BFM Deck 0. The generator is BFM generator and the effect is deck. And 0 means it's the first track that has this combination of generators and effects in the song. So copy gen is used to copy just the generator portion of a track. This function ignores any effects and envelope values. If there are no duplicate generators, then selecting copy gen immediately exits to the step sequencer. So what I'm going to do so you can hear this is I'm going to modify the frequency here. So you can hear that in BAM0, the second triggered note is different than the first one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to menu system, select track, select copy gen, select BAM0, and then I'm going to select BAM3. Notice that I can also choose BAM SVF as a destination because I have the same generator type. But in this case, I'm going to select BAM3, and ask if I want to copy BAM0 to BAM3, I'll say yes. Now both BAM0 and BAM3 have the same frequency value. And all the other generator values associated with BAM0 are also copied to BAM3. So the next one is copy effects, and this works the same as copy gen, except that it copies the effects portion rather than the generator portion, and it works. And you do the same thing where you select copy effects, and then you would select the source and the destination, and the effects from the source are copied to the destination. The next one is copy env, and what this does is it copies the envelope from the source to the destination. Now, every track in PSPSeq has the same envelope function built into it, so you can share envelopes between any two tracks. There's no restrictions. So again, you would select copy env, you would select your source and your destination tracks, and then the envelope from the source would be copied to the destination. Copy freak is used to copy the frequency data between two tracks. Only tracks that have a frequency component can be used with this function. The noise generator and the wave file playback generator do not have frequency components, therefore they're not valid choices for copy freak. After selecting copy freak, which I will do right now, you brought a list of all the tracks in the song, and if I scroll through, you'll notice that I can't select the tracks that have an N or a noise generator, but all the other tracks are valid as sources and as destinations. So you select the source and the destination, and the frequency from the source is copied to the destination. And remember, if the source and destination have different frequency types, that PSPSeq will warn that all the frequency data from other loops will be lost if you do this copy from source to destination. If they're the same frequency type, then it'll just do the copy. Okay, so the next one is clear track. So I'm going to go back, and the way I'm going back is I'm pushing left on the D-pad. So now if I go to clear track, actually here, let me exit first, because and now I'm selecting the first track as the active track, the BAM 0. So if I hit start and go to track and select clear track, now I can access any track, and this will remove all of the triggered hits, and it also will reset all of the sequencer steps to their default values. So I'm going to delete BAM 0 in this case, or I'm going to erase BAM 0. So I select BAM 0, and then you're given two other parameters to choose: the start step and the end step for erasing. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from step 0 and end at step 63. I'm pushing X on both of those, and then confirm by pressing X again, and now all of the triggered steps in BAM 0 are gone.